Hello. There we are. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. It is I, DG Driver, and it's been a while. About 2+ ish weeks. Hello. Today is Wednesday, November 15th. It's about 1:31 in the afternoon Eastern Time. And my wonderful friend Air Emmerich is here. Hello, friend. Very good to see you. I am doing okay. I will catch you up on the vitals. But folks, if you haven't already done so, if you're watching on the replay and you would like to follow some new Flight Sim content you haven't seen before, go check out my friend Air Amarich's channel. I've watched their streams on more than one occasion before. Give them a follow. I doubt you'll be disappointed. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. It's been a while. It has been a while. Let's see, I've been working hard at work, working lots of work, and Mrs. Digi had surgery. I've been keeping you guys informed on Discord, so also just thinking about some things there as well. Commodore Chronicles, hello, welcome aboard. It's also nice to see you. Folks, if you don't already know this by now, I have been starting to roll in very cool retro gaming circles. Commodore Chronicles is one of my friends from more than a few different channels that I've been to. And if you like old gaming, vintage gaming, however you want to call it, go check out Commodore Chronicles as well. I need to go catch some of Commodore Chronicles content as well, so definitely welcome aboard. Thank you. She's recovering. She's recovering. She's well on her way to getting back mobile again, but she's still hurting. Maybe a little bit less than yesterday, but she is just resting here and watching me as well as just checking some stuff out on her phone. Let me just get my mix down. I think I want the music not that loud in the background. This should probably work out for you guys. If it's too quiet, just let me know. If it's too loud, let me know, and we'll just get grinding. Oh, that's what's playing in the background. Ha! I was like, wait a minute, what's the sound? When you go visit a channel on Twitch, what happens is the stream, I think the last stream they had kicks on, so I was actually playing the intro to your stream, Commodore Chronicles. There we go. Well, there's probably a very good reason why, because that's actually one of your streams. Yep. So I fixed the problem, and hopefully that will resolve. Now, um, back to the show. I have been working on this offline for about the past two and a half weeks. And this is the terminal building at Plymouth Municipal Airport. This has a restaurant. This has probably some administrative offices and some company, one or two company FBOs. And this is in Plymouth. And believe it or not, this was a humongous mental block for a while. You know how, like, when you're trying to do something, you get afraid that, like, you you just don't have a clue how to get started? Well, I'm discovering more and more the answer is just to get started and then let the stuff fall into place. But yeah, this has been something I've been working offline, late at night in between tasks to try to finish my friend Eric flight and for Seriously I'm a Pilot. Both of those folks actually have frequented the IRL airport, and I'm hoping to do this project justice for them. Okay, I was just checking something. Wow, this is pretty loud. Let me bring it down. It's just this one track from the Minecraft menu that picks up music, picks up volume. Okay, that's fair. Now, like I was saying, I've been working on this one for a while. I think it's at a point where we're actually pretty close to leaving it alone and moving on to some other stuff. I do have a few things that I need to finish before this thing actually can be shelved for now. So it's not going to have an interior, and I need to make sure that I fix a few remaining textures, but I don't want to take too long to go over them. Airwalker GT, hello. Thanks for stopping in today. Appreciate your patronage. I think we've chatted on different channels before, but in case you haven't, welcome aboard. I'm DigiDriver. I do scenery development for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I am working on a terminal for Kilo Papa Yankee Mike, which is Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So let me kick off and let's get right to it. I'm going to go grab some textures and see what I can find for an under awning or undercover texture here, just past the lip on the roof that you see. I'm probably going to add a wooden texture. Where my model texture is right there. I'm probably going to add a wooden texture so that I can actually make it look like it does in the picture. And speaking of which, I haven't actually opened up my PureRef program yet. One of my good friends at the channel, SG Child 9, actually put me on to this program, and essentially it helps to keep things in view so that you what am I saying? So that you can actually see all your pictures in one spot. Yes, yes. All right. Give me a bit because I'm trying to find it. All right. There we are. Okay. So you should be able to see it. If not, I'm going to make sure it's where it's supposed to be. I wonder why it's not showing up. There we go. All right. We should be good now. So you can get a picture, no pun intended. You can get an idea of the kinds of pictures I'm using for our rendering. But I'm in the background right now looking for some wood textures. I think I found it. There's a texture that I have called Bamboo Wood Semi-Gloss. I'm probably going to take the gloss edge off of it, and I'm going to use it for the sake of um, putting underneath this piece. All right, this is probably going to be the first time I actually use this texture in the sim. Normal and roughness. Let's grab those three textures, and we're going to go straight to the folder where my project is, and we should be able to incorporate it. As always, folks, if it's too quiet, too loud, let me know. I'll be glad to change the volume levels to make sure you guys are comfortable. And pardon my feigned rudeness, I'm just copying some files over to the directory. Yeah, ever since I got PureRef, I have not stopped being grateful for having my pictures all in one spot. And yeah, technically it's possible to just do the same thing PureRef does with one or more programs, but the single purpose of PureRef that I've seen so far is literally having you be able to reference your pictures in one spot. So I am definitely grateful for it. All right. I think I need to add one more material, and we're going to call this one outer wood texture. I am using an older version of Blender. This is not supported anymore. It's 2.83, but I told myself I would switch to a different version of Blender once I finished or once I got uh, KPYM to a version 1 release. So that's why I am sticking with the older one. Let's add roughness and then let's add the normal mapping. Not that it's really going to matter, but let's assign it and see what happens. Okay, I need to go into UV editing now to be able to make a change. And I need to be able to see what I'm changing. So here we go. Wow, 4.0. That shows just how out of touch I am. I haven't actually paid attention to versions since like 3.13, so that's amazing. All right, let's smart, no, let's smart project. Okay, it's going to be difficult to see because I have it highlighted, but I'm going to do some things before we start. We're going to remove clear coat roughness and we're going to make roughness non-metallic. It's not going to reflect much light at all. It's just going to be completely rough. And that's actually not a bad color to start with. I kind of like that. What I probably need to do is adjust the way that texture looks. Oh, of course you are, friend. Can you tell I've been away for a while? Hope you're doing well. Looks like that's better. My microphone volume was kind of cutting in and out. This should be a lot smoother. Well, folks, my wackiness is coming to an end. And if you can believe it, next week will literally be Thanksgiving. And then it's full on hardcore Christmas time. And I'm looking forward to it. But it's like I say every year. Every year I get to the point where it's like you hit hardcore Christmas, or what I call hardcore Christmas, because I've basically been Christmasing since Labor Day. And no, I'm not going to apologize for it. But like you hit this point where it's just like, oh man, like it's Christmas time. And then you're like, for me, it's like, oh man, like really? Like we're there already? Because for me, every single time that I get to this point, I'm like, I don't want it to go by fast. I don't want it to go by fast. I don't want it to go by fast. Like I want to appreciate it. And I just want it to be special this year, really. So that's my point of view anyway. 1 year almost. Congratulations. Wow. I'm a software dev by trade in real life, and I am of the belief that you can be in two good positions. You can be in the position where you've been with a company for a long time and you kind of understand what they're looking for, or you can also be in a position where every like 2 to 3 years you you what am I trying to say? You stay aware of the things that are coming and you position yourself in a spot where you can actually go work for someone. Like, a couple years, bam, you start over. Both have their advantages and both have their drawbacks. So it's something that I'm still learning, even as a, internet redacted years old person. Redacted? Internet hidden. There we go. It went fast. Yeah, yeah, you better believe it. I have been doing my thing for X amount of time with X company, and I can agree with you. But I tell you what, this adventure that I've been on with regards to scenery development has taken me back to a place where I used to spend time in creating airports, and I'm a fan of it. 6 family birthdays between November and December, and another due in January. Oh my gosh, you did say your family had one on the way. Between Christmas, Thanksgiving, and birthdays, I have little time to enjoy it as well. Well, okay. What's the best way I can put this? I I've kind of discovered something right now about life where it's just like I have to make the decision. I have to deliberately choose how I spend my time because if I don't choose it, it's going to be chosen for me anyway. Like, what am I trying to say? You know, there's some things some people say sometimes, like they say stuff like when you fail to plan, you plan to fail, or like when you if you choose to do nothing, you've already made choice. I've I've tried to be very much cognizant of how I spend my time, and I don't always succeed, and I mess up more often than I care to admit. But I'm trying to be very much aware of how I spend time and the things that I'm shooting for. Because, like, I can choose to do stuff like, playing, I don't know, Starfield or going on a world tour of Microsoft Flight Sim. And I have nothing against that. I like doing stuff like that. But at the same time, I've found over the past few months and years that this thing called scenery development for me has ticked way more boxes than I expected it to. And it's something that I'm appreciating. And I'm rolling with it. Hmm. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's put the wooden texture on the bottom of this sign. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I don't know. We'll see how it looks. I mean, I certainly have folks on the ground that will help me understand whether or not my texture placement is good. And believe me when I say this is not a perfect model by any means. There's plenty that I'm still missing, but I am also ready to ready to move on. Let's see. One, two, three. Okay, before I do that, let me stop. I gotta take a look at my picture, specifically these privacy walls. Like there's one right here. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, the thing that I like about PureRef as well is that you can lock your canvas so you don't accidentally move stuff around, which is actually pretty cool. Okay, there are one, two, three, four, I'd probably say about 5 of those pillars underneath the privacy wall. So I'm going to leave it at that. So about 5 of them, which means I think I'm gonna need 10 divisions. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Instead of messing up these textures, I'm going to choose this as a separate model. Main wing, side wall, bottom. I'm doing that because I want to be able to make my loop cuts exclusively for this face. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, it's better. Double, and that way I can have more spacing. So, how am I going to do this? Absolutely. Commodore Chronicles, like, why haven't we become friends sooner? SimCity was one of the formative titles of my young adult life. I played SimCity and sucked. I played SimCity 2000 and kinda sorta sucked. Mostly sucked at it. And then I discovered SimCity 4 many, many years later. And it kind of stoked an appreciation for SimCity all over again. And then what happened was I got back into SimCity 2000 on goodoldgames.com, and here we are. Let's see, is that enough? One, two, three, four, five. That's actually a bit much. So how about every 3 spaces? That might work. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, now slide them over. So we're going to extrude. We're going to extrude these down to the floor, and we're going to keep them as streaked metal. And then there we go. These go down. I'm going to keep them very simple. I'm not worried about them. I might even just leave them streaked like that, but I'll experiment with this just for a bit. And I'm going to save a new revision because I've gone through 25 other revisions so far. And like I've said on channel, I save different versions of model files so that I can potentially go back if I have to. City Skylines. I have yet to play that. I've yet to play that. I think I think in one sense I'm almost afraid because I don't want to jump into another sim that will take up time. Not because I don't like the idea, but because I want to make sure that I am enjoying what I have and making sure that I'm striving to go after whatever I do with intentionality. I know it sounds weird, but at the same time, I'm just like, what's the best way to put it? Oh, I know. Well, I said this before. Mrs. Digi had surgery. You know, outpatient procedure, like a quick thing in and out. But I've said this and I don't mind saying it repeatedly, like, you know, she means a lot to me, and having them wheel her back into the like, you know, the room where like you start and you end before you go home. I forget what that's called, just like the unit room. Seeing her again made my heart happy. And I want to be deliberate about how I spend my time. And I think that also means stuff like, hey, if we're going to go for this, if we're going to do this instead of that, then that's fine. And at the same time, if I want to play City Skylines, okay, go for it. Just know that it's going to take up your time. And I think that's cool too. Like I forget that rest is a very good thing. And I think these past few days off have definitely taught me a lesson. So I'm learning. And given that so many people already have played City Skylines, I probably will at some point. Don't be surprised if you see a stream, just not in the near future. Okay. Oh, no. I gotta do it again. Okay. When you want faces or vertices on the ground, you can apply the transform, which resets the position in space of the 3D model. Um, then select your faces or vertex, click on G, then Z to force the axis, and 0 on the numpad. Normally, your vertices or faces should hit the 0 level. Oh, oh, I get it. I see what you mean. Um, Transformation shortcuts Control A. Okay. If you hear sounds from the computer, I'm taking screenshots of chat. Excellent. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alright, so what did I do? I was closer to the edge here. No, no. I want to extrude these guys. Extrude sounds like strudel. Extrudel. Ooh, some strudel right now would be bank. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mrs. Digi just reminded me of a great festival that we go to every year, or try to, and we'll be on our way there. More you know, faster you go. Absolutely. Okay, so G, Z, 0. Wait, 0. Did I do that? I might have worked this up. So hold on, let me try it again. I have the faces selected that I want to extrude. Oh wait, I forgot to extrude. Okay, now we're extruding. So GZ0. Did I hit the wrong key? That's weird. All right, let me try it again. Is it just 0? Hmm. Okay, well, it could be this. Oh, 0 all of a sudden reset the position. That's a little weird. Well, let's learn together, shall we? Okay, Control A did that. G did this. Ooh, interesting. See, that gets my attention. Okay, so this is what happened. I hit the G key when I had the faces selected. Then I hit 0. Oh no, wait, excuse me. Try it again. I hit G, it started moving, and then hit 0, and then they touched the ground. Oh no, they didn't. That's weird. First extrude, then select them again. But if that does not move, you need to apply the transform. Okay. All right. There we go. Control A, GZ0. No, that's weird. Or it could be the axis that I'm choosing. It could be the axis that I'm choosing. All right, extrude, Control A, G, and let's try X instead with a 0. No. Oh, well, okay. It is entirely possible this is only an option in a newer version. Oh, quit edit mode before Control A. Really? Apply all transforms. All right, we'll try it again. All right. Control A, all transforms. Got it. What's the next step? Because I want to be in edit mode to be able to extrude the shapes down to the floor. Now select the faces and extrude a bit. Okay. Got it. I'm curious. Now G, Z, or Z, then 0. G, Z, 0. Okay, that 0 didn't work. How about the 0? No, actually. That's a little weird. Yeah. Or is it... Hold on. Hold on. Do I have to do G and Z? That was weird. G, Z, 0. Okay, so I think I have to go back into the all transform selection, extrude, G, Z, 0. Yeah. At this point, I'm probably going to blame it on an older version of Blender, and that's okay. I appreciate you letting me know about that though. So let me go ahead and extrude these like I did before. And I think I'm gonna keep that in mind for future. So I am defo saving these chats, but so be it. It's okay. All right, now for me as a still, like budding scenery dev, I'm flying by the seat of my virtual pants right now. So as I get better, I'm probably going to start figuring out better and better ways of doing this stuff so that it's easier and more efficient. For now, though, I'm happy to just create these and not worry about it too much. But I definitely appreciate the help. And the difference in perspective is helpful too. Alright, so same thing on this side. Yep, same issue. So we're going to break this piece off. I'm assuming the other piece is going to be, it's going to need to be broken off as well. Yeah, which is why I put a 2 on the bottom of this one. Now we have both of these separate, and I can start breaking this up into pieces. There we go. That'll do. Should do. In one sense, it's funny. I kind of like doing stuff like this, and then improving over time. Well, I certainly appreciate you being here to give me the incentive to try it. So thank you. Definitely. Let's see. Terminal wall tile, streaked metal. Is this streaked metal as well? I don't think it is. Yeah, I don't think it is. That's weird. Okay. I guess I didn't put materials in these. That's okay. There we go. Pick these edges as well. Gonna make them all streaked metal. And then that'll be set. And then I can pick the other texture as well. And smart UV project, and that's it. Do the same thing with this side. So in case you guys are coming aboard and you're wondering what in the world's going on here, my name is DIGI Driver. I am a scenery developer for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not officially, but I do this for fun and maybe a little bit of pocket change as well. And I am trying to build the airport terminal for Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Right now, I'm trying to break up the bottom of this privacy wall so that I can actually put some supports down. Do it. This one does have streak metal, so I'm not sure. Oh no, it is terminal wall bottom, not streak metal. Oh, this is neither. This is concrete. Got it. Okay, so first thing, all streak metal. I have no clue why this is showing me this texture instead of the texture that I want. Could be because this is the primary texture for this piece. I don't know. I don't know. 3, and this is just an arbitrary number that I came up with that actually makes these separations look cool. IRL, I'm pretty sure these are way more, way more curvy and way less blocky, but I genuinely don't care. It's okay. I figure I'll work on this for maybe another like half an hour, and then we will probably kick off another hangar to build, and then I'll probably be applying the lessons I learned from that to one or two other projects I'm also working on as well. Mm. Nice team. Let's, oh, of course, and select these, and we're going to smart project. Ah, there we go. So it was terminal wall tile. Let's use streaked metal, and that'll do. Okay, so now we got both sides of the privacy wall, I'd say, established. And then this is going to have some transformers in here, but these are going to be different objects. I might incorporate them into this building, but I'm not sure right now. I think right now this is plenty fine. However, there are some things I want to do for the sake of making this really pop in the sim. I believe these letters are, they're like backlit, or they have like fluorescent lighting on the back, so that at night this should light up. I'm going to see if I can make that happen. So we need to hide a few things first, but before we do anything else, we're going to go ahead and save. And I feel like a new revision is necessary just in case something gets borked here. Not deleting walls, just getting rid of walls so that I can see behind them. Okay. What I'm probably going to do is grab the pieces in the back that have the most amount of square footage. Well, not square footage, the biggest amount of room, the biggest amount of meat on the bone. And we're going to make some of these pieces emissive. And by emissive, I mean they're going to emit light at night. Microsoft Materials have this ability to let you emit light depending on whether or not it's nighttime or daytime, so that you don't have to, ooh, I messed up, so that you don't have to keep the lights on all day, so to speak. But that's also okay. I think I need to grab some more pieces. Pardon me, folks, just a bit. You can fuse the scale. If you want to align multiple vectors on the same axis, you can click S plus the axis plus 0. You can switch to the vertex mode. Left of the inspector, you can have transform. You can put 0 on the z-axis. But it's important to always apply the transform. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Let me grab that. That should be enough at the top. I'm not going for utter perfection here. I just need it to be visible at night. On the other hand, some of these are simple enough that you can grab pretty much all the back faces. I don't want to grab all the faces at once because then I'd have to deselect the faces from the front. But I'm kind of surprised that the I didn't apply decimate transform to uh, to these letters. If I'm creating like a sign or something, I usually decimate so that I don't have as many polygons. It's okay. Like I'm, I'm not freaking out about it. Like, oh, too many. I'm tired of, I'm absolutely tired of just allowing myself to not do things because I make myself so tired because I just keep second guessing myself or just trying to do stuff left and right and center. Not the doing, the lack of doing, the fear of messing up. It's never gonna be perfect if you don't try. And again, this is just kind of semi-random selection so that I can actually have an emissive cover. Theoretically, I could just create way simpler polygons, but I'm just going to go ahead and take this as it is. This is a pretty good coverage map for the back of these, and I'm going to create new material. And we're going to say this is the emissive backing. So this will be base color of white, emissive of white, and I think that's all I need to do. If I assign this, then in theory, at night, they should light up. So MSFS standard, try it again. There we go. Full emission. And day-night cycle. It might not prevent the sim from drawing them white during the day, but literally, in order for you to see that, you'd essentially have to get behind them. And considering just how close they are to the wall, you're probably not going to find it unless you go looking for it. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to save this revision. We're going to go to this view, select everything, and then we're going to export this and fire up the sim. because I'm extremely curious. I want to see how this looks. I am making sure that my textures are where they need to be. And now we have the additional textures that we copied. So I'm going to put them in a texture folder when I render. And texture is here. All right, stand by. That should do it. And now I should be able to export. I did make a backup copy of this before, so in case stuff goes really bad, I'm still going to have the backup to fall back on. Alright, so I'm taking a look at the model, and I think the next thing I want to do is use the light mode. Oh, okay, the 3D viewer doesn't support that. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, let's copy the textures over. Still got to render this in the sim, so I'm going to grab this and I'm going to take all the textures, JPEGs and PNGs, put them in the texture folder for my packages. And where is it? It's right here. Okay. Oh, well, most of the stuff's here anyway, but I'm going to go ahead and paste them in. Okay. They're in, and I'm done, and I can grab, with the exception of the textures, all the things. I copy the textures over. All I have to do is copy the GLTF, bin, and XML files and put them in the destination. And then that should do it. Alright, now we'll see if I messed anything up. Stand by. Gotcha. Okay, so now I'm doing a test render to see whether or not this actually finishes building successfully. And folks, just a friendly reminder, if you guys said hi or wished us well or were pulling for Mrs. DG, thank you. Appreciate your thoughtfulness and your well wishes. Okay, so it did build successfully, and the object is already in the scenery. So we're going to do this. I'm actually going to go ahead and exit my music generator here because we're going to fire up the sim. And I'm also going to close PureRef for now. And we're going to see what this looks like. We're going to see how this looks in the sim. I'm working on this building for, I'd probably say about 2.5 weeks now. It could probably get done a lot faster, or I should say it's probably going to be faster to render once I know what to do going forward, but sometimes you have to you're only able to answer certain questions when you literally I don't know, when you find out for yourself. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Where is my sim? Oh, Blender has to be hidden first, of course. And I need to adjust my window. Also, I need to adjust my volume. What's up with this? Oh, no, it's there. Take the volume back up. Welcome back, friend. We are loading into Microsoft Flight Sim. I'm adjusting the window size because I'm at a different resolution than I normally am when I stream flights. And we're going to load into Plymouth, and we're going to take a look at the changes that we made to the building. After that, I'm probably going to start doing a hangar render, but I might not take too much more time. I will start the basics of 1 or 2 hangars that are available. Well, one hangar project is in the same scenery, and the other project is different scenery. I don't know where, but one of our friends from the channel is part of a sim acrobatics team and requested a hangar be built for them. They gave me a pretty good idea of what they wanted, so a hangar big enough to hold maybe about 4 or 5 of the acrobatic planes, some decorations, things like that. Doesn't sound bad to me. I just needed to get in the right spot to be able to make that happen, and hopefully I'll be able to. Like I said, I'm looking forward to a little bit more downtime over the next couple of months. Not that I'm taking a humongous vacation, but I have some PTO that I'm going to be using, so I might not be streaming all that much, but I will be doing senior development in the background. So we're in the sim. Let's go ahead and load into Plymouth, and we will make our mark. Okay. Nope. I'm not going to show up at Plymouth on an A330. That's way too big. Even an A320 is going to be towering over most of the buildings there. Well, excuse me. Not towering over, but it's going to seem way out of place. A 737-600, on the other hand, might get by. All right. Let's just choose this and pick a parking spot. And now we're going to load in. Keep live traffic on. Actually, excuse me. I need to reselect it. I don't know if you guys have the same problem I do, but occasionally, if you make selections to flight conditions and then come back here, it will literally start you on the runway. I still don't know why, but there we are. I'm lazy and I manually update my Rex AccuSeason software, so you're still going to see colors on the trees in Plymouth. My assumption is that a lot of the color is probably passed by now and they're off peak. And here, though, it's still nice and colorful. Matter of fact, we're getting to a point in November where the sim might actually start putting snowfall down. So it's going to be a very real reminder to me to start changing my my models or updating my model placement so that snow doesn't go into it, into all the buildings that I've placed. Here we go. We're loading in. And here we are. Now, these look a little weird until you go right up to them, but basically the reflection mapping is such that it's I forget what the terminology is. I just know it's weird. But there's a very basic reflection here. I'm going to replace those reflection maps with the textures that come from the glass themselves. I see the wood underside is actually nice, although I might actually chop that into pieces so that they look more like this. And it's so close to the ground anyway that it's not going to be a problem. However, here you do see what it looks like. And if you look closely enough, you will see the textures from the streaked metal. The shadows are what's making it look like there's no texture at all. So that's good. I do have some sign placements here, and there's the 3D model I was working on before. It's kind of cool. I don't know what happens, but sometimes when you place certain objects down, the sim draws them twice, and I have no clue why, but this actually does not look this way in Blender. When you load into the actual scenery, you won't see two propellers superimposed in the same spot. But there's the plane. These are the tables, which are, I think, still a bit too big. And these are the signs that are basically at the fence line. And, oops, that's not bad. That's not bad. Now, I want to test and I want to see what happens when it gets dark out, because that would be dope if this actually lights up. Please tell me it worked. Did it work? It did not. Okay, so why did it fail to work? Did I forget to do something? I don't know. Maybe it turns on later at night? No, no. Theoretically, it's supposed to be there right now. Did I? No, this is the parking lot. Oh, yeah, the polygons don't disappear when you go behind a building, so that makes sense. I don't get it. Excuse me? Yeah, I messed up the emissive texture, but that's probably because there is no emissive texture in the building. So, lesson one, I think we literally need a texture mapped to the back of this render in order for it to show up. So, let me go into Blender and see if I can actually make that happen. I don't care what texture I use, I don't care how, but wait a minute. Yeah, it's an emissive backing, base color, subsurface color, emission. Get rid of the clear coat roughness. It's supposed to be emitting light. No cast shadow, double-sided, day-night cycle. You know what we're gonna do? We're not gonna care about it. I'm gonna test this by removing the day-night cycle option from the material and just leaving it as something which emits a texture all the time. And I'm going to duck behind it again just to make sure I can see it. And stand by. Yeah, yeah. All these should make it stay lit the whole time. I just want to test it to make sure that this is actually working. It's 100% emissive right now. Let's give it a shot. And because I'm not changing textures, because I'm not doing anything really funky, I should probably be able to even check the updates in my 3D viewer. Oh, I'm glad I checked because I only exported the text. Give me just a moment, chat. Have they opened yet? I shouldn't. There we go. And now let's see what this looks like. No, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything with emissive texture in my 3D viewer. So this is why I copy the GLTF, bin, and XML files. And we're going to copy them and hopefully get an instant update inside the sim. The problem with instant updates, I think, is sometimes it hides or wrecks the rendering pipeline. But all we're doing is taking a look at the terminal. Okay. So I don't see anything right now. Let's change it again. Yeah. Am I missing something? Oh no. No, I'm not at all. That's superb. There is one problem. I think I discovered my problem. I think what has to happen is actually take those emissive lights and actually put them on the wall. They gotta face out. They gotta face out. And I thought they didn't have to, but they do. Okay, so a little tricky, but maybe we can make this work. Okay. All right. So essentially, my problem is this. I am placing the emissive lighting like it's going to just bounce off this wall and then be immediately visible. What I neglected, excuse me, what I neglected to consider is that the sim doesn't treat these as walls. It just treats these as textures. That is one of the biggest problems that I have. If I knew how to make my 3D models so solid that they literally reflected light where I expected them to, like real life, then that wall would light up. So I'm gonna have to, I guess I'm gonna have to peel these off and make them show up. So unfortunately, now I really am gonna have to take my time and pick at each one of these polygons that I created so that I can duplicate them. Which unfortunately sucks, but it's a thing. This is also one of the reasons why, unbeknownst to me, I didn't choose all these major polygons, which is good because then I have to choose every single one of them. Also, I'd probably want to make these bigger. So wait a minute. Actually, I think I'm going to want to choose all these polygons. And I think it's because I'm literally going to copy these letters and put them in front of the wall, both sides a missive, so that they actually light up the wall. Well, not light up the wall, light up the text or emit a good chunk of light behind the text so that they actually show up. Yes, it's annoying, but it's the only thing I know how to do right now. So, this is what we're doing. Let's see, do we have enough emissive sound? We do. I think you guys are hearing some of the sound in the background, but let me go ahead and bump it up a touch, so you guys hear like the birds and stuff. Okay. I know I like doing scenery dev because this would probably frustrate me if I didn't. It is a little irritating, not gonna lie, but I'm also hoping this fixes the problem. So essentially, I'm probably going to split this off from the actual from the model. So this all these polygons are going to form one big plane, and that will hopefully work. Because I'm going to make the plane visible on both sides. Let's see, we got a lot of letters left to clear. Whew. It's annoying. I know. I know. Okay. Thank you so much for stopping in, my friend. Have a great rest of your evening and take care. And if you haven't heard anybody else tell you this, Merry Christmas. We'll see ya. It is annoying, folks, but happy to do this just to test an idea. Okay, where else? Right here. If I'm able to grab all these polygons, split them off the letters, and then make them visible on both sides, that should give the impression of something under behind it, lighting it. That's right. They don't function like real life objects. This is just digital art in one sense. The problem, or excuse me, one of the major problems that I deal with is that I can't emit light onto a surface and have it reflect back. I don't know if that's just a limitation in the rendering engine in the sim. Like, I think you can do ray tracing. I thought you could, but the emissive texture is not showing up completely. So unfortunately, that means I have to go through all this to get all these to be selected. Then I need to remove them or not subdivide, split. Split them from the object, pull them back, and make sure the emissive texture is actually separate but still kind of out in space. There's just enough wiggle room, in my opinion, to actually be able to make this work. It's not going to be much room, but I'm hoping to do it. If I can get that to work, then it's an idea I can implement in the future or just figure out how to make it look better in the future, period. Because, yeah, I could put an emissive block behind it just to have this piece of wall that just lights up and makes these letters pop. But the problem is that then you'd have, one flat slab of bright wall, and the letters, instead of being defined, would just be framed against a light background, which isn't the way it works in real life. In real life, you have fluorescent lamps on the back. Wiggle, wiggle. Don't you mean wibble wobble? Hello to Darian. Good to see you, friend. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm still kind of floored that it's Wednesday already. Tomorrow will be Thursday, and then I work Thursday, Friday, and I have a nice little weekend. And I have short weeks coming up. But hello. Very good to see you, friend, and thanks for stopping by. I am doing some work in Blender and trying to actually select all these polygon edge faces so that I can break the back of these polygons off and then hang them out in space just far enough so that I can light these light these letters in the dark. I already know how to make the light emissive, but the problem is that it's not working the way I want it to because the wall that I've rendered for this building is not a solid. I don't know how to do that. So, we're doing the best we can. And man, am I happy that you can undo changes and have all your previous selections retained, because that would have been sad. Okay, so I don't have that many faces left to select, so we're gonna go one level at a time, since everything I think has been chosen here. So, today is the 15th of November. It's absolutely and utterly mind-boggling that we're this far into the year. Anybody here have Thanksgiving plans with family? Trips to take? Just downtime? Having turkey or some kind of an alternative? Do you not celebrate? I'm in the States, in the US, so I have come to enjoy the Thanksgiving celebrations with family and friends online. So it's just a trip that we've come so far so fast already. I can remember like turning on the AC for the first time this year, and now we're literally getting into colder temps, shorter days. It's been an absolute trip. It's been an absolute trip. I hope this works. May the Lord be with me. Oh, very nice. That's excellent. I hope your family time goes well, and I hope that you have a great time on your excursion. I'm hoping to be able to do the usual tradition that we do most Christmas times, which involves a ride in a car to go see some lights, and then also walking around getting some very, very good local food in our area. I'm definitely looking forward to it. As long as the weather holds out and it's not too cold, I'm looking forward to it. Back up a bit. There we go. Digi, why are you clicking all these triangles? Well, I mean, for one, Digi apparently didn't apply a decimate transform to the text that he converted to a mesh before he got to this point. Oh, well, I'm mid-Atlantic. If you're familiar with areas like New York City, Philadelphia, um, I've been to both places. I spent a good chunk of my formative of some years in New York, and I usually prefer not to disclose exact locations. I'm trying to be a bit careful sometimes online, but at the same time, I've been to Philly, I've been to New York City. I have enjoyed the culinary benefits of being next to two major cities in the US. And when I travel, it's to see folks in that area, and I do enjoy where I live in the country because I get to get all four seasons. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I can go to the mountains. I can go to the beach. I can go to the city. I can go to the country. It's just this beautiful um, this beautiful collection of opportunities that I am glad. You just say Southeast Michigan. Ah, so you're a Michigander. Nice, nice. Is it true that some folks call it the mitten? Like if you hold up like your left hand, like the thumb is kind of like where Detroit is, and then like you can go up to Sault Ste. Marie, and then the 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 left side of your left hand is like Lake Michigan. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to choose the other polygons. I think I'm supposed to. I should. I need to. I have to. Yeah. Yeah. Did I though? This is kind of annoying. It's gonna be all right, Digi. We do use our hand as a map. Yep. Yep. Reason why I mentioned that is because I have observed, I think, someone from that state kind of map out where they were using their left hand some years ago. So that stuck with me. And I hope that all this clicking produces a good result. That's the hope. This is taking so long. I'm glad you guys are here to you know, offer up some chat. I'm sorry that I am not doing, you know, some incredibly cool approach into like Tonkantin or something, but the effort that I'm putting down is so that you guys can have very interesting airports to fly into. So it's an exchange, you know. If you're a flight sim streamer, you want new and interesting content. If you're a scenery developer, you want people to pay attention to the things you're working on. So, in other words, it's just, you know, like you do this, I do that. If I give you interesting airports to fly into, then your viewer count stays where it is or goes up. And if what I'm trying to say, if your viewer count goes up, then you have more people watching your channel, which means more people will see the airports, and they'll want to you know, download or buy them. So it's very cyclical. Cyclical. Is that a word? Yes, it is. Okay. Yes, this is an issue, but that's okay. And no, don't click away to make sure it's been selected, because otherwise it'll go, bah! And all the selections I made will be gone, and I'll be sad. Okay, now I keep saving as I go, because at least the save will retain the selections I've made. And at this point, believe it or not, I still haven't made enough selections to say, oh, well, did you just gonna hit the A button and selected all the faces? Not really. Not really. Okay, now, this is the tricky part. We're gonna right click, and we're gonna see if we can split. And then we're gonna go ahead and move them. If we can. Yeah, look at that. You can actually move them now. That's great. That's what I wanted to do. And now we're going to break all these off, assuming they actually all are gone. Oh, okay. Looks like I didn't actually pick all the other ones off, but basically almost every other one was chosen. So that means just a few pieces on the bottom. And on the top. That's weird. These all look like they were chosen. I know some of these weren't. Split again and pull. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. There might still be one or two pieces left, but honestly, I don't know if I'm going to get much better than that. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to break these out into a separate object. Airport text backing. And now we can select the airport text backing, we can highlight everything, and we can assign emissive backing to everything. Here is where it gets tricky, because I don't want backface culling. And if that's the case, the front side of this should be visible as well, which is great. And now we can re-enable the walls that we hid. And there we are. And now I think all the work that I did is finally going to pay off, because we can take this go into edit mode, move them slightly, and check. Okay. It's interesting. It's like the wall is curved or something. I can't tell, but I think it's also because the text is not as far out as I thought it was. Oh, no, wait. I know exactly why. The angle of the text is actually different in relationship to the wall, which would explain why it is not perfectly placed. Okay, let's twist that text a bit. Actually, hold on. I want to be very, very careful. Oof, that's annoying. Okay. Now I can bring it out slightly. And now I think maybe I can scale it a little more. Maybe. I don't know. Like, we're still dealing with like just barely inches. I can probably move this text out a little bit more, and I don't think anybody would care. Just a touch. Just a touch more. Pretty much about the point where it starts getting weird is where I know I've hit my limit. Okay, so that should be good enough. And now I'm going to try to apply the day-night cycle property to that backing. It is emissive, so this shouldn't be as pronounced during the daytime, and will hopefully flat out disappear. But we'll see. I know it's in front of the wall, although it is... Let me see. Does it dance on the wall when you go far enough away from it? Hold on, it's not perfect yet. This is kind of annoying. Both of these gotta go out further. This is annoying. Wow. Like, I don't want this out in the open, but unfortunately, the wall isn't giving me much of a choice. However, there we go. Now I can really see. Yeah, I wonder why the vertical alignment was as weird as it is. That's strange. Nope, nope, wrong one. Right, now hopefully the emissive nature of emissive texturing will kind of produce the halo effect around the text that I want it to. Otherwise, I might have to scale this up a little bit. But now I think we're in a good spot. Okay, so airport text backing doesn't have this texture anymore. So I should be able to unassign it. And airport text doesn't have emissive backing anymore, so I should be able to unassign that. Okay. And emissive backing has full emission with the day-night modifier, and airport text has no emission, and it's just a flat material. Thank you so much, my friend. It is not always easy to do. Also, I do not need that side. Oof, this is gonna be annoying. Okay, alright. What am I gonna do? I'm going to pick this side. Yeah, unfortunately I chose these two. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to break the rules a little bit and assign this text here. I'm also gonna have to break these two polygons off because they weren't supposed to go. We're gonna call this an oops, and we're going to tie them into the other object. Can you move, please? There we go. All right. So, to fix this, we can either just do a really quick hack, or I can take a few seconds and reconnect them. So, this is what we do. We grab the text and the text oops, and we do a Control J to join them. Okay, need to do it backwards. First this, then that, then Control J. All right, now I can reconnect these vertices, and that's just going to be really, really annoying, but it's okay. Because what I want to do is I want to just make sure they're hooked back up. I can see what I'm doing. Oh my word. Okay, great. So this vertex first, and then finally, where's the other one? It's like, Digi, you've gone berserk. Who cares? I do. Where is it? these two vertices are like ridiculously close to each other. At least I thought they were. Let's see. Yep, there we are. Wow. Praise the Lord. There we go. Yes, I really am that picky. It's Tangled. Welcome aboard, friend. Glad to have you. Uh, man, this many people visiting me on a scenery development stream night makes my day. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate your support. It's nice to be able to chat with you guys while working on some scenery. And I am doing some work to the terminal building at Plymouth, Massachusetts. This is Kilo Papa Yankee Mike. It's a municipal airport, and I'm trying to make some really cool things happen with the scenery. So, we just finished. I'm going to disassign something, and the text should not have any backing scenery textures. And now hopefully we will be able to do the things one more time. All right, give me a bit. I'm going to export, and we're going to try this again. I'm going to grab my files, GLTF, bin, and XML, and put them in the terminal folder in the project, overwrite them, which makes the scenery pop and reload, and now we have the airport again. All right, this is where we figure out whether or not this works. I'm a little optimistic, but let's see what happens. Yeah. Okay, now, unfortunately, it doesn't work perfectly, but you can see the effect that I was going for, which means one of two things. Let's go ahead and look at this from a dusk perspective. Right about here. So what's supposed to happen is that these lights should be lit from behind, and there is a slightly emissive effect that you get right around the edges where it's kind of looks like, what do you call that, ambient lighting? Yeah, that's what you call it. But I need to push it out a little bit more. So we're almost there, chat. We're almost there. Let me go back into Blender, and we're gonna fix this up one more time. All right, we're gonna move airport text out a little bit more. And we're going to actually scale the text backing, because we're going to want it to kind of encapsulate, not encapsulate, surround the text. All right. Try it again. Oh, no. Not that text. Really? Okay, now I think that should actually work. The problem is now I'm going to have to move each one of these individual letters into place. But if I go in edit mode and I do it one letter at a time, we should probably be fine. The thing that's bugging me is how the wall isn't straight. Like, the text on the bottom is still not coming through, which I find kind of hard to believe. But that's okay. That's why we have these streams. Okay. This is the text behind it, and the text in front of it is smaller. Hopefully it's not too much smaller, because we're going to basically wrap each one of these letters. All right, here we go. I'm going to go into edit mode for these letters, and now we're going to move them all as a unit. But don't worry, I'm not going to select individual entire polygons at a time. I'm just going to do that. Hopefully what happens is I see for each letter that there's a kind of wrapping effect that happens. So I should be able to move all these letters into place. Excuse me. And yeah, essentially that's what we're doing. It's interesting how projects like this are teaching me. But not gonna lie, sometimes I don't want to be taught. I just want to do the thing. Like, I just want it to work. Unfortunately, scaling isn't always exact. It doesn't always work out the way you want it to. Really? I think with scale, the closer you get to the wall, the more pronounced the effect is. But you know what? I'm not going to think about that much. Sometimes that's what it boils down to. If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Because the process of getting better takes a while. Okay, let's go back. Right, that's where it should be, it's just a bit further back. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to cut my stream a little bit because I want to do like 2 other hangers, but I think I'm gonna take it easy. Just make sure that Mrs. Digi is taken care of. She's my priority, and she's very patient with me, but I want to make sure that I'm taking care of her as well, because it's kind of stuff you do for your spouse, you know? You love on them, you take care of them. Don't know why this is not showing up the way I wanted to, but hold on. Is that good enough? I don't know. So the U poses a problem because these edges are kind of like um, concave inside the letter now. But I'm not going to worry about that too much because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time just on the backing for it. The T should basically be a breeze because we've got most of it in place. Yeah, yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say I've never actually, like, I'm always available and I can do anything and I'm all over. But there's a reason why they call them priorities. I want to make sure that I'm not ignorant of that. Okay, don't be lit in front of the letter, sir. Okay, so I think this will actually work. This is tricky. Like getting your dimensions right when you're scaling, when you're doing stuff like this, it sometimes doesn't work out the way you want it to. So if I can make the emissive lighting show up nicely, then I'll be content with that. So let's see how we are. Oh, you're way down. Okay. Give me a bit, guys. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Just wanted to make sure that Mrs. TG was taken care of. She is doing a little bit of movement, so I wanted to make sure that I was there for her. Okay. Yeah, I think definitely for today, I'm gonna be content to just do this. But rest assured, anybody watching that's curious about me building hangars, I'm probably going to be doing that off stream, but I will be working on that. If not tonight, probably tomorrow night or Friday. And then I don't know. Again, I don't know what the weekend's going to look like in terms of hanging around. Um, I'm probably not going to be going anywhere, but at the same time, um, I am Probably going to be helping Mrs. Digi get primed to start getting back into the flow of things, and hopefully what that means is she'll be able to do a lot more and get ready for the rest of the week. Eye looks pretty simple. I'm glad I only scaled them a little bit because I wanted them to kind of envelop the letters, but not completely go and eclipse them. This is what we do. This is how we make the cool effects in Flight Sim. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the time to make sure stuff looks good. And I think this looks a little bit out of joint. Not out of joint, just out of place. That's better. At least with the O, it looks better. I hope. What was I saying? I had in mind to talk to you about a few things that were going on. So I'll do that. As some of you know, I have a Discord. In case you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to drop a link to it really fast. So if you're curious and you want to check us out, you're welcome to. I am predominantly involved in flight simulation, so you're probably not going to catch me talking about other stuff too often, but I am starting to branch out. And honestly, I don't mind that. I don't mind that because of two reasons. One, I think more than a few of us are trying to experiment with ways to, I don't want to say stay relevant, but definitely present some new and interesting content to people. Two, I feel like sometimes it's important to branch out and to try different things for the sake of maybe improving your sense of perspective, or what it is you're trying to accomplish. So I have been viewing other streams, I think probably since the beginning of this year or the beginning of last year. I was watching more and more retro gaming streams, and I'm a bit of a nostalgic when it comes to old computers, old video game systems. It's, I mean, you might disagree with me, and that's totally fine, by the way. It's just that for me, the older systems, they evoke more, they evoke more nostalgia from me because I can easily tell you that I enjoy older video game systems more because of I guess the game collections that are available for them. I wasn't involved, or I wasn't big on video game systems like, say, the Neo Geo or the Saturn, and there are some people that really were involved with them. But I happen to have a kind of new version of a Commodore 64. I think they call it the C64 Maxi. There was a C64 Mini that was released, I want to say 3 years ago or so, where people could actually play old Commodore 64 games on it. There were some games that were bundled, and you could also put your Commodore 64 games or load more Commodore 64 games onto the platform, which I think is cool. But I mean, for some people, you mentioned words like, I don't know, PS2 or Xbox or Nintendo GameCube, and that will probably evoke memories of them playing old games at their friends' houses. And essentially, that's kind of where I'm going with this. Nostalgic gaming for me is something that I wouldn't be surprised to spend more time doing in the next few months. Whether it's a case of saying something like, "Oh, like this is what I'm enjoying right now," or for lack of a better phrase, like, "Hey, this is where I am. I'm playing Super Mario Brothers." Yes, I can do that, and I probably will do that. It might not be as much at first. I'll probably at least be talking about it like I am right now, but that's exactly my point. Older systems made the use of your imagination kind of, actually not kind of, it was mandatory, because we didn't have cutting edge graphics for Microsoft Flight Sim back in like the early 90s. We were still using um, solid solid polygons. It was like the mid 90s that we finally got into texture mapping and gorge shading and all that stuff. And yeah, it took a while for graphics to catch up. The arcades where you went for a long time to catch the latest and greatest stuff. I mean, I sank many quarters. I don't know how many quarters Outrun consumed from my allowance, but I can tell you that it was a lot. And just the technology and the stuff that was available, it made going to the arcades a treat and experience. But I can tell you, looking back on the platforms now, the amount of work and the amount of effort that some programmers had to go through to create titles, I can respect that because it wasn't easy. Yeah, yeah, I played Killer Instinct. I like Jax. Was it Jax? No, Jax I think was a Mortal Kombat, but no, it was Combo. I like Combo the most. But yeah, like you talk about stuff like that, like the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the Nintendo 64. The Nintendo 64 to some people is probably still a really cool game system, and I think I would agree with them. I only played a few games on its system. I think Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64, and I never played stuff. I never played all the things, but I can tell you that some people either have or maybe intend to. TJ Combo. The music in the Super Nintendo version alone was actually pretty cool. And and think about this: when the Super Nintendo started getting long in the tooth, and the 64 was just about to come out, they were companies like Rare were cramming information into the limited amount of space in the Nintendo cartridges at the time. Like 16, I think maybe even 32 meg size cartridges with with the game content. Dude, like some of those developers were making tremendous things happen, and I feel like I'm just beginning to learn about it. I spent more time in computer games mostly because that's all that I had. But yeah, man, I mean, what are you gonna do? That's just how it worked. Okay, now I think I'm happy with this. I'm gonna say this is a different revision, and now we're going to save it, pop it into the sim, and as long as it looks good, I'm probably gonna call it at that point. So I'm happy. Let's go ahead and export it one more time, and that should do it. And then, of course, I break away, stop, check in with Mrs. Digi, probably order in, and get ready for the rest of the evening. So let's get this rendered and make it show up in the sim. So same as before, grab our files and def bin XML and pop it in the project folder. And now I'm going to, oh, there we go. I think this looks better. We might have a winner, chat. We might have a winner. So they put the music on Spotify. Okay. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this now. Let me hide the other polygons. And now it'll be easier to see because I'm hiding a lot of the editing polygons, all of them. We're going to take a look at this during the dusk time frame. And that's interesting. I thought this was fixed. It's a little bit stuck in. Hang on. It's okay. I'm going to grab the entire text backing as a whole and move it forward a bit. That should probably get rid of the any parts of it that don't show up. I think that should do it. Hang on, chat. One more export. One more export. Let's go. You want to know what? Stream speak is a thing. Do you want to know what, Dendarian? I had toyed with the idea of getting a video capture brick to be able to export playing video games to Twitch. And I didn't think it was a thing at the time, but the more I think about it, the more I feel like maybe having hangout streams might be a thing. Hold on. I I went to check on something. I have an old pair of headphones. The plastic's beginning to break off the side. It's all right. Did I export this? No, I haven't exported it yet. Let me try again. Stand by. Okay. One more time, chat. Hold on. I don't know why the emissive letters for M and O do not show up the way they're supposed to. It's like they're not all there, even though they show up. What does this look like during the day? Okay, cool. It's not fully lit. It only gets lit once you get to sunset and to dusk. So right there it should light up. I don't understand. The letters should actually be fine, but they're not. So we're gonna try one more time. now we're going to check again. Okay, so from straight on, I still see a good render. One more export. And we're going to take the files, copy them again. Sometimes it's literally creep and save. Okay, yeah, we know it's there. I forgot. That's hilarious. I forgot to select the rest of the model. That's funny. Okay, sit tight. That's hilarious. DIGI broke the building. He broke the building. Should be fine. There we go. I'm gonna have to play with emissive lighting because like we're pretty much almost there, and yet at the same time we're not. I don't know why. These things are very, very weird in that sense. So hold on. Yeah, this is now way far off the wall now. So if this isn't the way it's supposed to be by this point, I don't know what's going to happen. So this last adjustment should be the last one I need to make, but we'll see. Clearly, I've said that before. Terminal and copy the files, overwrite. Okay, okay. This will work. It's not perfect, but I don't care. I'm going to probably maybe expand it a bit more, but genuinely, from the perspective of the effect that I was shooting for, this is pretty good. I'm probably going to put some sidewalk material down, stuff like that. This is supposed to be different, but I like my version 1.0 is not looking the best right now, but that's okay. I'll make it work, and then we should have a flagpole here and some post office mailboxes here. But for today, genuinely, the fact that we've come this far, this is amazing. I can probably just lift these two things up some more. The what am I saying? The privacy screens. Am I gonna work on that tonight? You know what? Let me see. Let me see if I can lift these up without breaking too much stuff. And if I can, great. And if I can't, oh well. But let's see what happens. So I've got the two privacy screens selected. Let's go ahead and lift them up. Okay. So the privacy screens are selected, but they're attached to the wall. I'm going to try to split them. Okay, they're a little bit higher than they were before. And now I think, lift the supports into place. I'll show you what I'm doing real fast. So we're trying to lift this up so that they're on the same level as the other side, but it is possible that it's not going to be perfect. If I can just get them to that point, I might be happy. Did you be finicky, yo? All right, so now stop, go into object mode, and we can hopefully select both these things and lift them both at the same time. Dope. And I can go back and fix that later, but I'm going to choose these pieces from the bottom of both of them, and we're going to lift them up. Ta-ta! See you! Okay, now I know that the other ones are a bit off. Just need to lift them up a touch. That's it, just a touch. Okay, and I can go back and fix this. I can also say I'm going to fix it and then never do it. Because that's how things happen in life sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, I'll go back and paint it, and you mean to, but what happens is you just completely it completely slips, and you're done. Like, I just want to go home. All right, so I am going to save a new revision of this since I did make a drastic change, and then we're going to render it and see how it looks. Thanks so much for your support, everybody. Really appreciate your patronage and spending time today with us. I'm going to export this and move it into place. Or, excuse me, when I export this and copy the files, it's going to update like I did before. And now I should be able to paste it and wait for the update, and blammo. Now, did I get it right? Let's see. Yes, I did. So, the privacy screen looks like it's supposed to. We do have backlighting, although it not gonna lie, kind of sucks for me, but I will I will work on that. And yeah, we have it right on both sides. We do have it. If there was a way to increase the bloom value so that these lights kind of bled out from behind the letters, so much the better. Commodore Chronicles, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate your support. God bless you and your family. And I might message you with a link to my Discord in case you want to join. So be on the lookout for that. I think this is actually pretty cool. I'm going to save the scenery, and I'm going to hit the build all button right now. I will most likely make my backup copies to save the progress that we made today. And that ain't bad, Chad. That ain't bad. I was gonna work on hangers on stream, but unfortunately, I had no idea how long this would actually take to do. It's like the things that you think aren't going to take long to do sometimes are the things that you actually do take a while. Thank you. Yeah, I will send that link to you for my Discord in a bit. Probably once I'm wrapped up. But them's the breaks. No errors means the scenery built, and that also means that my friends that are doing pre-alpha testing for me will see these changes in the next release or the next build, which makes me a happy boy. Folks, the build continues. Stay tuned. If you aren't taking advantage of your Discord access to my channel, please do. I post my thoughts and scenery updates there. And I think I'm going to go ahead and call it here. This is dope. I'm going to save a screenshot of this too. I like it. I am happy that we've kind of gotten out of the gravity well of scenery dev for this building, and we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for stopping by, everybody. I'm just gonna go ahead and sign off for now. We'll let you guys find your way to the door, and right now I don't know what's gonna happen with a Sunday stream.
Ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
But we'll see what happens. And CXA125, thank you very much for your follow. Welcome to the Digi fam. Hope that you enjoy your time with us. I am a scenery developer for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I would also like to start developing scenery for X-Plane as well, but it does take time to do all those things. If I could do this for a living, then the incentive would clearly be there to increase my surface area in terms of creating scenery products. I predominantly use Blender for custom scenery development, along with a few other texture creating tools, and I'm working on Plymouth Municipal Airport in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I have created the custom ramp work. There's still a lot more ramp work I have to do, but there are things here like custom hangars that I probably need to work on and fix, but these could, in theory, be custom start positions in the near future, depending on the actual aircraft you fly, or actually make them start positions so that you could actually have simulated aircraft fly out of here or park in those hangars. So we shall see. I've been working on this for about a year now, and I would like to very much get a pre-alpha version to some of my friends so that they can enjoy it. And I've learned a lot about scenery development and the things that you can do. So I think I need to work on actually putting textures on this, but it's okay. Probably not for today. Folks, have a great rest of your evening, and if I don't talk to you tonight, have a great Wednesday. I'm going to go chill with Mrs. Digi for a bit, make my backups, work on dinner, and then, Lord willing, we'll keep grinding on KPYM, get even more custom buildings, more hangars, and then eventually get to a place where some folks will really be able to enjoy it and maybe even release it on Sim Market. But one step at a time, friends. Take care. I'm going to go ahead and head out now. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Like I always like to say, if you don't have peace, you need to know the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Take care, friends. We'll see ya.